I'm at 528 Overton Street in Newport, Kentucky, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, basically anything that would be of concern to the buyer. Our access point here is an outside clean out, and you can see if you're facing the house from Overton, it's on the left side. On the left side towards the rear. I believe this is 6th Street on the side. I'm not 100%. But it looks to me like the line goes out to a sewer main in the alley behind it. It's called Hamlet Alley. And we are on, but it's on the East 6th Street side of the house. And so this is 6th Street right here. And the alley is there towards the rear. And so it's right here next to this side door. You can see the little porch here on the side that walks out to the back. So we're going to go both directions. I've been inside in the basement already, and there's really not much to do back going towards or back upstream towards the house. It's pretty short. It drops down and then goes right out the sidewall. So there's not a whole lot in between this clean out and where it turns, up towards the up the bathrooms and like where the stack and the vent and everything is. And that's, as you can see, we're already there. It just goes through this side wall and then goes straight up to the 2 bathrooms and vents through the roof. It's only a few feet from where it comes down, where this clean out is, and you can see in the bottom left hand corner that is the angle that the camera's sitting at. So you can see we're sitting at a 90-degree angle straight up. So looks like there's been a lot of plumbing abandoned in there, and then this line here is what replaced. It looked like there's one single PVC line replaced a few other plumbing lines that were old, like cast iron and stuff. So now, I don't know if you noticed that, but we'll pull back out, and now we're going to go downstream out towards the main. So it does look like at least some of this was replaced with PVC, which is always good, especially on something this old. I'm sure this was originally all clay, and we still may run into some. So what I'll also do is, if we make it all the way out to the main, I will try to turn some water on, and we'll watch it flow as we pull back. You can kind of see a little bit of evidence of a flow line there in the bottom. Just barely, not even a quarter of a way up the pipe. You can see about a 3 to 4 degree pitch in the bottom left hand corner. That's always good. Minimum is 1%, or 1/8 of an inch per foot, which is roughly 1%. Diving straight down. We're at about a 60 degree, and it probably is just doing that so we can get deep to go into the sewer main here. That is going into clay, and that's a really good transition. And we got some buildup of roots right here at the main. Pretty positive this is the connection at the sewer main. Try to bounce through it. And hopefully, if we can see this, I can at least we'll locate this and make sure that it is at the main. There's a very large tree right there at the corner of the alley and East 6th Street. And this is it's been replaced all the way to this point until it drops off. It's been replaced with PVC all the way to this point. And so there's some root intrusion here, but this may be the responsibility of the city or SD1, the sewer department. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to locate this to verify its position. And then we'll make sure, because based off of the footage here, 50 feet, we've got to be pretty close to the main. We may still be on the property, but we're probably pretty close. So again, I'm just going to pause the video and locate this. Okay, we've had the water running for a couple minutes here, just to try to see if how it's making it through the roots for one. I located the line, and it looks like this is right where it transitions over. It's right at the edge where it transitions into the brick on the top of the alley, basically the brick, the roadway, right where it transitions. So it looks like they replaced the line up until that point. Now, from then on, I believe it would be the responsibility of SD1, but I'm not 100% sure about that. In different areas, it's different demarcation lines, and then also because it's an alleyway and not. So maybe there's something there, but there's definitely a reason why they stopped the replacement just short of the main when they could have went a few more feet. But I'm assuming that's what it is that SD1 is responsible for it from here out. And so the plumber, whoever replaced the line up to this point, stopped there because the homeowner or building owner was no longer responsible after that point. You can see there's just a lot of roots there. The water's making it through, and it is at the bottom of a 25-degree drop plus a pretty large drop off before that. So there's a lot of it would definitely take a lot for this to back up throughout all this pipe, because you can see even here we're almost at a 90-degree angle dropping right here, a 60-degree probably. Camera's a little weird, but yeah, so 50-degree drop, and then it drops a little more. And so what I'm going to try to do real quick is pull this back. I'm going to put a little standoff on the front of the camera there, and then we'll push back through. The thing is, it was replaced all the way out to that like 56-foot mark, 57-foot mark, and that all looks wonderful, as you can see. Just at that point where it looks like it leaves the property is where we have the connection between the new PVC line and the old clay, right before it hooks into the sewer main in the alley. That's where the roots are getting in, and so it isn't uncommon for it to happen this way, just because of how close it is. I mean, clay, that's probably the main reason why this was replaced, is there's probably some damage because of how close it was to these roots, and if it was left unmaintained for long enough, those roots can break the pipe, or they just wanted to replace it so they didn't have to worry about it. So I'm gonna pause the video here. I'm gonna go get a standoff, and we're gonna see if we can run back through and possibly get that camera from a different angle to hop over that clump of roots, and we'll just see if we can inspect the last. I mean, we are inside of 10 feet from the main. We're like 7 feet from the main here, so it's not very far, but we still want to see if we can get all the way there. Okay, we got a little standoff on it. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, based off of how much roots there are. And it raises the camera up a little bit more, closer to the center of the pipe. So we'll run through this pretty quickly and get down to that 56, 57 foot mark and see if this helps it. I I don't think it will, but there's always a chance. This all looks, obviously this is all great. The pitch is great. There's no even low spots from backfilling, nothing. It's just right when we get to this point, as soon as we, and so it's really not even at the connection. The connection is actually holding up. The Fernco that they installed to connect the two pipe materials together is working out great. It's the first seam after the go back into clay that's letting all the roots in. So a cleaning would do it, and it looks like we're almost past it. Might be able to just get through it. Got it. Which is such a weird thing here, because there's just a ton of roots in here, and you can see how I am sitting at, it says a 35-degree angle, and then it goes into PVC, which would have been, this would have been done by the sewer department here, and this is all SDR 35, and so all but, it's wild. Somehow either the plumber or SD1 just didn't replace that section. They both kind of probably thought that's not our problem. So 66 feet, so really everything has been replaced except for a few feet right in the middle, and that's where you're getting root intrusion. And you can see 67 feet. Okay, so 58 to 67 has been replaced, and then up to, what was that? And then up to about 56 feet was replaced. So we'll say 58 feet. And so the city replaced that. Pretty wild. So, I mean, you should be able to, I'm not sure what the deal is there, but you can see just a couple feet. That's all it is, a couple feet. It just was not replaced, and that's where you're getting all this root intrusion. And so you should be able to do a cleaning and get rid of all this, but I would also talk to the city or the sewer district, excuse me, and see if they will take responsibility for this in any way. Just due to, you know, that little bit of space, but that is pretty choked down. I'm surprised I was able to get my camera to go through it. But now you know that from 56 to, well, 56 feet is a spot that where the roots are. But from roughly 55 feet, so 55 feet up to 58 feet is clay, and it's the only section that hasn't been replaced in the entire line. Just kind of odd. They were probably done at two different times. Those sections were replaced at two separate times, and one of them didn't know about the other apparently, and so they didn't just go and replace the entire thing. So I'm going to recommend a cleaning. And I'm also going to recommend that you contact SD1 and see if there's anything that they would do as far as either cleaning or repairing this spot, just due to how much root intrusion there is. It's all in the vertical line where it drops down to meet the main and meet that other piece of PVC. But there was definitely a lot of root intrusion in the 4 feet or so you know, 3 to 4 feet of remaining clay in the line. But other than that, the line looks great, and the water is making it through those roots. But if you get people in here and you're running a bunch of stuff, although it does have a lot of drop, there's still obviously a chance that things will build up on those roots, and the line can, you know, can back up. And so I'd say it's roughly about 30% open, and that was all mostly towards the top of the line. So 70% root intrusion, plus on the vertical, you couldn't really tell because of the way the camera's hanging, but it looked like the vertical was also pretty full of roots. But the rest of it looks great. So, yeah, just a couple phone calls to see if they will do anything. Hopefully they will, but if not, it's going to require a cleaning and some maintenance after that. The easiest thing is usually to just put some sort of root treatment down there once a year, and then, you know, like Root X or something, and that's the kind of the brand name. And then after that, you know, maybe after about 5 years or so, have it re-inspected and see if the root intrusion is has built up at all. Obviously, if SD1 takes responsibility and does the repair, then you won't have anything to worry about. But if not, you'll just have to have an initial cleaning done to clear all those roots the best as you can. You know, based off of the turn down and everything, it might be a little tough to get all those roots. And then, you know, a yearly chemical treatment and an inspection after about 3 to 5 years to check for root growth and see how well the maintenance is taking care of it. But yeah, 90% of that line has been replaced and is perfect. And you have 4 feet in the middle that nobody knew that the rest of it had been replaced, and so you got about 4 feet in the middle that's letting a bunch of roots in from the tree here at the corner, and possibly causing future backups. So that'll end the inspection at 528 Overton Street in Newport, Kentucky.